Yugi Bros! What's up, guys? It's time for another market watch. It's been a bit. I'm actually gonna go through, the usual stuff. The decks the decks first, then the packs, then the tournament packs. I feel like the tournament packs are the most BS, so we'll leave those for last. But starting with Destiny Masters, we're going scrolling on down here. There's nothing really changed. I feel like it's still worth giving you guys all the Speed Duel products because there's not infinite yet, so I can kind of cover them all in one video. Other than Recruiter, nothing's really holding any value in this deck, but we've known this since the beginning. So moving on to Duelist of Tomorrow, Kunai with Chain, sitting around $1.20, $1.50. It's nice. Windstorm, man, $1.20. Love it, love it. And everything else is kind of bottomed out. Obviously, a lot of these things don't go for a lot in most decks other than Windstorm. These decks here are $5. Heatwave, by the way, still really good reprint, especially in regular YuGiOh if it ever sees play. Definitely worth picking up for sure. And then everything else in this deck, like I said, is really cheap. I think Summoner's Art would have held more value if there wasn't a super rare. So moving on to Arena of Lost Souls, Sphere Karibo is finally under $10. Oh my god, I never thought I'd see the day. It's actually funny because the common counterpart's pretty close to its ultra rare counterpart's price. King of the Skull Servants, though, if we go down here, we actually go through the near mint, about $10. This card's been creeping up slowly. It's definitely powerful with all the zombie support we've got. Mitch Azuri's about the same. Bloy's Ultimate, I wanted to touch on this real quick. This card's like $5 for Speed Duel, and Waking the Dragon definitely has part to do with that, but other than that, I'm not really sure why it's up. Senju's about $2 to $3. Arcana Knight Twister is only 46 cents. Oh, remember the days when this actually was money. And yeah, if you finish on down here, that's about that set in a nutshell. So moving on to Attack from the Deep, Levia Dragon is at an all-time low of $4, or I guess back to its all-time low of originally $3 to $4. Sonic Bird's about $5 even. This card's, it's past its prime. Blade Knight's $4. I'm actually a little surprised. I think the deck's still pretty good. Dust Tornado is about $3.75. Also still think that card's really good. Surprised it's only that much. And then everything kind of tanks out. Oh, Zombina's finally down. It was up for a bit. Now it's back. Forceful Checkpoint's $1. I just feel like that's worth picking up. The card's pretty good sometimes. Depends on the format. If you go on here down to Catch of the Day, oh man, it's way low. Oh god, here we are. This card's nothing. And I mean, I figured maybe with the new support it would be something, but no. So Scars of Battle Box is $25. Seems good. Although it makes sense because nothing in here outside of Nightbeam and Book of Life are really holding any value. Book of Life's sitting at about 7. Nightbeam, same thing. They're both still really good in respective decks. Obviously, Nightbeam, I think, has a little bit more practicality. But I guess with all the spell and trap destruction we have now, Nightbeam's not always the go-to. And Book of Life, obviously holding for the zombie deck with King of the Skull Servant. Other than that, it's not really seeing too much play. Metamorph's $2. Finally. And like I said, all the skills should always be like $2 or less. This is a perfect example. And then it's just downhill from there. I'm surprised the Koichi's $1. I still think Machines, same with this. I think Machines still have a lot of potential, but apparently no one else does because prices are low. Trials. All right, boxes are almost $40. And reason being is Floodgate and Parasite Paranoid had gone up about a week or two ago. I was going to touch on this, but I figured I'd wait until this video. Floodgate's sitting at about 20 to 25. There are not too many on the market. So pick these up while you can. Obviously, this card's probably the best trap in this game right now, and for multiple reasons as to why. Parasite Paranoid, as I touched on in a video I posted yesterday, is 13, 15. This was up higher with Floodgate as well. They both got bought out and were ridiculous prices, but they finally settled. But I think Parasite Paranoid definitely is really good moving on into an insect deck. Haunted Shrine. This is $10. I really wanted to touch on this because this card's actually decent in regular YuGiOh, depending on what deck you're playing. And this is the only foil version of it. If you control no monsters, you target a zombie monster in your grave, special summon it. So that's just a really good trap in general. And then you can banish it. If you control the monsters, you can banish it from your grave, then target a zombie in your grave, special summon it, but its effects are negated. So the first one acts like a Call of the Haunted, or I'm sorry, a Monster Reborn, more or less. The second one just brings back a zombie while it's in the grave, and it's a trap, so you can do that sometimes on your opponent's turn as well. Sphere Karibo common, like I said, it's like 7, so next to the Ultra, not too much of a difference. I mean, if you just want to go foils, then $3 more gets you foils. Magician's kind of settled. Time Machines, $4. I think this card's overrated. Terror from the Deep, ultra rare. So the ultra rare holds like $4. This was a sneak peek one. And the sneak peek promo skills, by the way, Digging for Gold, Fusion Party, they're all like $250 roughly. The only one I feel is actually really good. See, low blow is 2 here. Ritual Ceremony. Is a solid $3, and I think this is strictly the best of the 4. This is like a one-sided Dragon Caller for ritual decks. Definitely worth investing in. Just have one copy if you don't already have it. The rest of the stuff from the Sneak Kit pack are actually worth stuff, even though these cards already come common and other things, so I'm really confused on that. Switcheroo's $2, Down to Luke's $2. Legendary Fisherman, unfortunately never really panned out. Cocoon, my boy from the video, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. And then, yeah, everything else is pretty much the same. Golden Ladybug, I wanted to say real quick. This is the only foil printing in both Speed and regular Yu-Gi-Oh! If this card ever sees play or ever sees, like, interesting text in time, definitely worth messing with. And then everything else, super wise, and the set is just low. See, Terror from the Deep, regular from the set is worth nothing. But the Ultras are still holding like $4, so that's something to think about. Man, Kairushin. Good times, good times. All right, Speed Duel, Tournament Pack. Blue Eyes All White Dragon, $300. This changed about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, and I figured by now we'd have some settle, but we are not seeing settle. Everyone has one of one copy, and the first seller there is actually 0.0% sales, so it's tough. I don't know if this is going to tank. Dark Magician, like, if you go through this one, too, like, you get the first one here at $80, and then the rest are 120 plus. But again, it's that Johnny's guy. He doesn't have feedback. I don't know how much you want to trust that. It's actually not the same for Red Eyes. Like, Dark Magician and Blue Eyes, obviously the best, because iconic. But you'd think Red Eyes would hold something? No, 35, 35, 35. Down the market. So it's a little interesting to me. And then we go to stuff that's like still playable in Speed Duels, but because it's Speed Duels, I understand a lot of more people are just collecting these for value of character cards and stuff like that. But like Relinquish is $23. This card is actually still decent. Like the deck itself is still decent. 23 is surprising to me. Gravekeeper's Oracle, Gravekeepers are still decent. You're telling me $15 to $18? Really, that's it? Oh, sorry, 16. It's actually a little bit less than it was earlier. Yeah, this is really shocking to me. Harpy Lady's Sisters makes sense. That card's unplayable, basically, and it's 19. And then everything else under Dark Magician Girl is $1 or less. Speed Duel Tournament Pack 2, though. See, these prices make a little bit more sense. And obviously, this wasn't as short-printed or as uneasily accessible as the first one. $40 for a card like this, that makes sense. That's like what an ulti goes for in an OTS pack. And these are the equivalent of ultis in tournament packs for speed. Fortress Whale, I feel like, is just a meme at this point as to why it's still holding value. But if you guys want foil Moby Thicks, $65. King of the Skull Servants, this makes sense. This card's actually really good. Gets played a lot in the zombie stuff. $65. I mean, it's a lot, but it's not like $300 Blue Eyes White Dragon unplayable a lot. Like, I don't know. Stuff like that just bogs my mind. Serpent Night Dragon, for the people that still like to play that fun deck, and I say fun deck only because I don't think it's very, very competitive, but it is super fun to play. $30, that's perfectly normal for how hard it is to pull these. I think that price is perfectly stabilized. Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth sees play with these insect decks, $25. Again, makes perfect sense. I don't see... I mean, this could probably drop a little bit more, but I don't really see it going under 20. I think that's a perfectly stable... These are what the ultra prices should be. These are what the first pack's ultra prices should be. Barrel Dragon. Oh boy, 15 to 18. I think this should be higher. I mean, call me biased, but I still have a lot of faith in the machine deck in this game. And then all the supers, again, out of this pack, $1 or less. I'm actually super surprised that they're only that much. I need to pick up Beatrons for that insect deck. I still think a lot of the supers in this are really good. They're a lot better than the supers from the first one. I mean, the only one in here that doesn't really make sense to me is Cavazols, and Maneater Bug's a little slow, but I guess it makes sense. The rest of these are all pretty good. Even if they're not staples, they're good. They're good enhancers, more or less, if they're not used commonly. Guys, what do you think? Leave a comment down below if there's anything I missed. I know with speed duels, it's pretty easy to not do that since there's only a few sets so far. But as I've stated in my previous video, I want this channel to be more than just speed duels. Speed duels are great and all, but with the slowness of releases, I feel like there's not enough stuff to cover in a 4-month span, so we're going to do regular Yu-Gi-Oh videos on this channel as well, and I will definitely make an update video regarding this. But until then, guys, my name is YuGiBros, and I'll see you next time.